Hey, what's up, guys? This is Sans World, and I apologize for the collab series, but this is gonna be a video in like a month or so, a few weeks. So I've been lagging on it. I've been working on the new Bank Silent One Revolution Volume 2. If you guys know Silent One Revolution Volume 1, it's the sounds we're using from that pack that are in this song, for the drop and the offbeat bass. We're using the kick from the CR2 Melbourne Bounce pack, and I think they only have one. So if you guys were asking for them, that's where they're from. Now, I haven't heard this project. I just went through it, after a few weeks of doing it. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what this project is, you guys send me midis, and all these midis are from people that, were following it. So the idea is that you guys send me the midis. I produce the track live for you guys on how I would do it. So right now, a couple of things I saw was that the leads need to be processed more. So we're gonna do that. So let's remove this stuff, and we're gonna do a proper Zen World touch on the leads. Now, a lot of people might consider this stem mastering as it is already, because what we are gonna do is compress, saturate, and just make the lead sound a lot more bigger in itself. So right now we are looking for my dandy decapitator, which is from Sound Toys. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, what is this down here? This is JBridge, and what JBridge is, it pretty much helps if you're running 64-bit Ableton. It helps transcribe your plugins that are 32-bit into 64-bit. So what's the difference between 32-bit and 64-bit? The difference is that pretty much a 64-bit utilizes more RAM memory, and in essence, it allows you to, just work more without your CPU taking a big hit. So the more memory you have, remember, the more processing you can do as well. So it all whenever you're looking to buy a computer, which I will probably make a video about, the things you want to look at mainly are going to be your RAM, your CPU, and how much hard drive space you have to save stuff. Because as a producer, if you're like a samples whore, and it's not bad to be sometimes, but sometimes people do go overboard with it, then you might need more than just a terabyte of information. All right, so with that out of the way, what we're gonna do right now is decapitate the leads. And decapitator is a saturator. It has 5 different types of saturation. You can also call this an exciter. What saturation does, it adds harmonics, and saturation helps get stuff sound loud. It increases the perceived loudness of your leads without boosting them up in your mix. So what I'm trying to say here is, imagine that meter here. We're gonna saturate it, and you see where that line, the green line, stops. It's gonna stay there, but for some weird reason, to you guys, it's gonna seem louder. The reason for that is saturation. You add more harmonics while still maintaining your same level, but the perceived loudness is increased because there's more frequencies being taken up. Now, certain frequencies have more perceived loudness. If you guys have ever looked at a track, and you look at it, let's say we look at this one, and we bring up the spectrum on it. Where's the spectrum? You can see that the sub is like really like the loudest part here, and this kind of just measures, the volume and the frequencies. And the reason for that is perceived loudness. That's why some tracks tend to sound louder than other tracks, yet when you play them in like Tractor, they look exactly the same. And perceived loudness is that. So that's what we're going to try to help increase with the leads in order to get them to sound a little bit bigger. It also polishes them, and it just makes them, sound more like a final product. Just making sure. There we go. All right, cool. So that's one decapitator there. Next thing we're gonna do is compress it. Compression doesn't make stuff loud, so don't misunderstand compression. But the beautiful thing about it is that it lowers dynamics of our leads, which in essence it's gonna make it sound a lot more louder instantly because the lead's not gonna have dynamics, so you're not gonna hear the lead fade away that much. Okay, so I'm just listening it forward. So right now the leads, we decapitate them. We added pretty much a CLA2. One final thing we can do is just add a S1 by waves, which it's just there to make leads sound wide. Now stereo imaging is very important when it comes to making EDM and when it comes to mixing stuff. Look, this is Paradox right there. Sorry, I'm just checking the time, so we still have like 8 minutes. Now the reason stereo separation is really important when it comes to creating EDM is because when people tend to listen to stuff, most of the time they're gonna listen to it in the car and headphones. God knows if your track gets played at a festival, then that's amazing. But we got to face the facts that not that many people are gonna get it played at festivals. When tracks are played at festivals, most of the times the track's being played in mono. So a lot of the new producers, they're kind of like, okay, it might not get played at a festival, but I still want to give the listeners, which are headphones, car users, a bit more to kind of, enjoy. So stereo separation comes in, and what it is, it's pretty much being able to separate, certain sounds away from each other, the low end from the high end and so forth. So by theory or by just, natural, like the way EDM is now, all the leads are always going to be widened, while the bass and the kick will always remain in mono. And there are some exceptions to that, as I've explained before, where the bass is the lead. So, you have your sub layer that's in mono, but then you have your top layer that's wide. That's why a lot of people think that some basses sound really wide, when in reality, it's just the top layer of the basses are wide while the sub remains in mono. So what we're just going to do is increase the width of our leads. Now, when you're increasing the width of your leads, you want to be a little bit careful because there are the people who have shitty audio systems. There are people that have laptops. They'll hear through laptops and whatnot. And if you widen the crap out of it, it might sound awesome on monitors and it might sound awesome on headphones. But, if you get that one person that has a mono system, they're barely going to hear the leads because the information is getting, and you got to think about this as information. The information is getting told to, spread out, obviously, but obviously you only have a set amount of information. So imagine you have, like me, and you stretch me the fuck out. Eventually it's going to look really unorganic and, and then if you look at me from the side, I'm going to start to get thinner and thinner and thinner. Same thing with the leads. Just think of it as it gets weaker.
Like my phone, maybe I should put my hands up.
Cool. Now, I'm gonna have to add more effects there. Obviously, it's missing some effects. That's gonna make the track sound a lot more energetic. Anytime there's white noise, it does. So let's check off the second drop. Send day right now, as you see it, is routed to reverb effects here, and what that's doing, it's increasing, just the reverb. So we're having the sound come out naturally how it would sound like, but then we're adding the reverb on a separate channel that we can EQ later on. That's pretty much what's going on there. Now, right now, I have the saws being all widened. What I'm thinking about doing is, so that the layer sounds more powerful, is having one of the saws be widened while one of them remains normal the way they are. So one of them is in this, like, think of it as in the center, and one of them is kind of widened a bit more, covers more frequency, and I'm gonna kind of dabble with the frequencies they're playing in. Alright, cool. I'm not gonna change that just to save time. Okay, so I moved the S1 imager to widened to the supersaws that were higher pitched. In essence, again, like I explained, you want anything that's higher frequencies to be a little bit more spread out. So that's what we have there. And I'm checking time again. So we got 14 minutes. So we got like a minute left. First, you guys always asking why can I do longer videos? It's because I got copyrighted, and I have to wait till May 2nd, which is around the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. So that's gonna be my celebration. But yeah, I have to wait till then to be able to upload long 15-minute videos videos that are longer than 15 minutes. And when I do, I'll probably be doing stuff. But I am gonna start streaming soon of me when I'm working on my original stuff and banks and all that, so you guys can see. So if you guys are like an adept producer that wants to stream for me on the Evo Twitch that we're gonna have, because Twitch is gonna feature us. They offered to feature us in exchange. We have to do some stuff, but we got invited to do that, so we're probably gonna end up doing it, to be honest. So if you guys want to get featured on there when you're streaming on the Evo network, let me know. Send me your productions and we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna continue this later. Obviously we still have ways to go, probably a little bit more effects and stuff. I'm gonna get rid of that gay vocal though. I thought it was funny at the time. It's still funny, but I want to kind of change the logo. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Again, sorry for the